According to ancient texts, an army marching out of the desert possessed a device capable of violent geographical destruction. It could forcefully part raging rivers, level mountains, and shatter fortified walls into dust. The Bible mentions this object over 250 times, detailing its role as the ultimate military vanguard, a highly volatile piece of hardware that guaranteed absolute conquest for the Israelites. The Book of Exodus provides a rigorous list of components and housing requirements, documenting a precise assembly process for the device. This is Mount Sinai, a harsh and isolated peak in the desert. According to the texts, it was in this exact barren landscape that Moses received specific material specifications and structural instructions for building the device. Modern material science reveals that these blueprints describe a terrifyingly efficient, functional machine. This animated cross-section shows the precise construction of the Ark. The instructions demanded 3 exact layers: an inner lining of highly conductive gold, a thick middle layer of insulating acacia wood, and an outer layer of conductive gold. In physics, this exact configuration creates a Leyden jar. A Leyden jar is an early type of capacitor that stores high-voltage electrical charge between 2 conductors separated by an insulator. This specific gold-wood-gold sandwich acts as a massive battery, trapping and storing extreme amounts of electrical energy. To charge the device, the Israelites simply had to march. The constant friction of their woolen robes rubbing together in the dry desert climate would generate extreme static electricity, accumulating a massive, lethal voltage inside the box over time. The trigger mechanism was a matter of basic grounding. If a barefoot priest stepped up and touched the outer gold layer, their body would instantly ground the device. The electrical circuit would close, releasing the entire stored charge into their nervous system in a fraction of a second. Ancient scriptures record multiple instances of priests emitting sparks or suddenly bursting into flames when approaching the box. These accounts match the physical results of a human body mishandling a high-voltage industrial capacitor. This diagram illustrates resonant frequency, the exact acoustic pitch at which a rigid object naturally vibrates. During the Battle of Jericho, the Ark was used to project concentrated acoustic vibrations. By matching the resonant frequency of the city's defenses, those sound waves could shatter solid stone. Deploying acoustics for physical destruction has historical precedence. The Lemba tribe in Africa utilized a sacred war drum known as the Ngoma Langundu, carrying it directly to the front lines to project concentrated acoustic power and strike terror into their enemies. To approach the Ark, high priests were required to wear the breastplate of judgment, a dense, heavy garment tied with thick ropes. This design, intended to shield the wearer while keeping them at a distance, mirrors the physical requirements for handling hazardous energy sources. This would explain the specific physical afflictions recorded after the Philistines captured the device: sudden, localized tumors and widespread hair loss. Even Moses, after receiving the plans, exhibited skin that physically glowed, symptoms that modern medicine identifies as acute radiation poisoning. Whether projecting concentrated resonant sound waves or leaking lethal doses of radiation, the device possessed physical capabilities that defied the technological limits of the Bronze Age. This is the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, the final confirmed historical location of the Ark. In 586 BC, the Babylonian Empire breached the city walls, sacked the capital, and burned King Solomon's temple to the ground. The Babylonians kept meticulous, itemized records of the wealth and artifacts they plundered, yet their massive inventory manifests make zero mention of the golden superweapon. It vanished from the historical record. This is the Garden Tomb, a site heavily targeted by modern treasure hunters. Amateur researchers like Ron Wyatt have made highly publicized claims of unearthing the Ark deep in the cave systems beneath this location. Wyatt even claimed to have found 24-chromosome living blood dripped onto the lid of the box. He presented no verifiable lab reports, published no peer-reviewed documentation, and allowed no independent scientists to verify his findings. Stripping away the layers of religious fraud and pseudoscience is the only way to track the genuine archaeological footprints the device left behind. This photograph shows the recently excavated ruins of Kiryat Jearim. Archaeologists digging here uncovered a massive, unexplained monumental wall that aligns with the historical timeline of the Ark's movements before it reached Jerusalem. This image shows an ancient Egyptian ritual chest. The Israelites did not invent this physical design from scratch. Gilded wooden chests carried on long poles were standard ritual items used throughout ancient Egypt. Look closely at this specific Egyptian chest, and you will see the jackal figure of Anubis seated directly on top of the lid. This provided the visual blueprint the Israelites used to forge their golden cherubim. This is the chapel at the Church of St. Mary of Zion in Aksum, Ethiopia. According to the most prominent historical tracking theory, the surviving Ark was smuggled out of Jerusalem and now sits inside these walls, guarded day and night by a single lifelong monk. Whether it functioned as a lethal electrical capacitor, a sonic battering ram, or a raw nuclear device, this physical weapon of mass destruction remains history's most terrifying cold case, waiting to be unearthed.